I'm Nikki McGee and I'm a local teacher. I've been teaching about 15 years in state schools up and down the country, and I'm really excited by Labour's idea for a national education service. And what's great is in the post-war years we set up the National Health Service, and I'm sure that there would be people now that would say that that's impossible, but we did it, and over the next decades we supported it, and now we're going to do exactly the same with education. And just like thanks to Labour we have cradle to grave healthcare, Labour will make sure that we have cradle to grave education service. So firstly, a big achievement of the previous Labour government was Sure Start, and as a single parent myself I hugely benefited from Sure Start, and they helped me piece my life back together. They helped me find local employment and build my confidence and get back into education. So now not only am I paying my taxes, but I'm a public sector worker, and that's thanks to the help that organisations like Sure Start gave me, where they have that long-term goal rather than just short-term target ticking that doesn't help anybody. And it had such a huge impact on society, so helping children get ready for school, helping families piece their lives back together, helping mothers get into work where that was appropriate. As a teacher, I've been really delighted to see how many of my Labour comrades are involved with the School Cuts campaigns. So if you go onto the School Cuts website, which is a non-political organisation, 70% of Labour MPs or candidates have supported that campaign. Only 1% of Tory MPs care enough to even sign an online petition. We're not talking about much. But the School Cuts website tells us the average cut to a school in Dorset, when you compare 2020 to 2015, is £94 a head. So we are talking about funding that's going to cut multiple experienced teachers, multiple teaching assistants, sets of exercise books and textbooks in classroom. We're not talking about small amounts of money, we're talking about big amounts of money that affects the life chances of our young people, because that's why teachers do what we do. It's a lot of work, and at the heart of it, it's about social justice. It's helping change lives for the better. So for someone like me, I was one of the first in my family to finish education, to go to university, and my standard of living is so much different than people in my past in my family who haven't had those opportunities, and that's what I want to give to other young people, and I know that the Labour government will help me do that. And I was doing some digging into the School Cuts figures. So for example, if you look at the schools with the greatest number of either students on free school meals or students with additional needs, they're the ones that mostly are facing the big cuts. So this is also about justice and fairness. So go to Carter School, just outside Hamworthy, and they're facing cuts of hundreds of pounds per student compared with 2015. Go to Parkstone Grammar School, and they're looking at a budget increase from 2015 if we put into place the Tory manifesto. So the schools with the most vulnerable, those children are going to get the most help under a Labour government. So the Tories might be increasing some funding, but they're not reversing cuts. The Lib Dems are going to increase funding, but they're going to take us back to 2015 levels. So that means they're taking us back to the middle of the austerity they helped create. Only a Labour government is actually going to increase funding. And what I love about the Labour Education Manifesto is you can tell it's been informed by teachers in the classroom, because it's not just about increasing funding, it's also about getting more teachers into the classroom, but getting more trained teachers into the classroom. One of the awful things that's happened lately is the number of unqualified teachers in academies in particular, and Labour will stop that over 5 years. We realise it's a big job, it's not going to happen overnight, so we're being realistic, but within 5 years those unqualified teachers will become qualified, or they won't be in the classroom. In addition, it's not just about recruiting new teachers. We need to keep the ones that we have got, because they're the ones with the experience that goes with the enthusiasm of the new teachers. So I was really pleased to see when I looked at the Labour manifesto that we're going to increase non-contact time for teachers, because workload is a huge factor in teachers leaving the profession. So firstly, we will keep more teachers, but if we have more time for planning and preparation and assessment, we will do a better job for your children. So if you want to see a national education service, just like we have a national health service, from cradle to grave, vote Labour.